Hey guys, we're here with Coach Coy, and we're going to talk a little bit about Coach Coy, your diet. So I know you have a lot of information in terms of what people should be eating, proteins, carbs, fats, that kind of thing. But what I want to know is, what's your daily diet like? What's a normal eating day for you?
What's a normal eating day for me? I'm usually in here pretty early in the morning, so I get up around 4:30 in the morning to come into boot camp at 5:30. When those mornings I get up. The first thing I do is immediately have a protein shake. Okay, so I'll have 3 scoops of protein, which is, depending on which one I use, is anywhere between 75 and 90 grams of protein. I'm going to have that because that's breaking the fast. I'm coming off fasting over the night, so I'm going to have that protein bolus, and then I also like to get in some fat in the morning, okay? Because I don't really need carbohydrates because I'm not doing anything yet. What I end up doing then is I take a handful of fish oil, which for me is usually about 5,000 milligram capsules, and then I have some almonds or pistachios. So I'm going to have a nice healthy amount of fat with my protein. What you'll notice is devoid of carbohydrates because I'm not doing anything yet. Because I'm going to train later in the day, I try to reserve most of my carbohydrates for then. My next meal will be 2.5, 3 hours later. Again, I would eat protein. If you're in here and actually have time to eat, what it's going to be is going to be about 12 to 14 ounces of ground meat. That's usually either buffalo or lean ground beef or turkey breast. I will mix that with an additional 12 to 14 ounces of vegetables. And that's always fibrous vegetables. I don't really eat a lot of starch. Per se. Again, depending on my day, 2 or 3 hours later, I'm either going to have another shake or another meal like that. If it's a day that I'm going to train, before I train, about an hour before I train, I usually have it's called a Finney bar. It's about 40 grams of carbohydrates, just to give my body enough carbohydrates to fuel through the workout. Now, what I do that's a little different than a lot of people is I use what's called intra-workout nutrition, or some people call it peri-workout nutrition, and I will use a variance of different products. Cytofuse or plasma, whatever I have, really kind of floating around here at the gym. And what that is, that's just protein and carbohydrates that I sip on throughout the entire time I'm working out. Now, why I do that is because it's going to increase insulin, and insulin's the main anabolic hormone, so it's going to flood my body with insulin, flooding those nutrients into my muscles when they're working. Okay, why wait for recovery till after you train when you can do it while you're training? Now, what's happening? Why do I do that? That way, I'm getting the majority of my carbohydrates during the pre, during, and post-workout. As soon as my workout's over, I'm going to take the fastest acting protein I can, either hydrolyzed whey or hydrolyzed casein. You know what? I'm going to take about 50 grams of that because it's instantly absorbed. Okay, my very next meal then will be a high fat and a high protein meal. So if it's a whole food meal, again, I'm going to probably go for something like the bison or the buffalo because it's a little higher in fat, but it's a good fat and more fibrous vegetables. Okay, as the evening goes on, when I go home, because I'm actually can cook when I get home, I like to have eggs in the evening, and that's usually eggs with another meat and more vegetables. So if you're thinking, man, this guy eats a lot of meat, a lot of vegetables, yeah, I do. Probably on the tune of about 4 pounds of each a day. Okay, I don't eat a lot of fruit. If I do eat fruit, it's either going to be first thing in the morning, but then I don't have any fat with it, or it's going to be post-workout, okay, because that's when my liver glycogen is low, and the fruit carbohydrate, which is called fructose, is assimilated easily and then increases your liver glycogen levels pretty well. Now, that's my normal off season. Okay, right now I'm not really training for anything, so I'm only training maybe a 2 hours workout 3 days a week. Right now I'm not doing any conditioning or anything else like that. Once I start training for season, which is going to be probably in the next couple of weeks, because got to start getting in shape for the season, my training volume goes up. As my training volume goes up, my need for extra energy goes up, because then I'm going to start training, every day or sometimes twice a day, and then conditioning sessions. So it's going to require me to have more calories. So off season, I hold about 260. I eat about 4,500 calories. Once I start ramping up to train for a contest, I could go up to as high as 6,500 calories. But my weight really never goes more than about 265. Okay, so I'm going to gain some weight, but I'm eating copious quantities of food just to increase my ability to recover from my workouts. So guys, if you're working out hard, you need more calories. If you're not working out that hard, you don't need that many calories.
Well, and let me preface what you just said there, or kind of jump off that. You're eating sometimes 45 to 6,000 calories a day. but you're also burning a lot too. I mean,
Right.
you're not recommending the average person
No, that's
eat
not the average person.
4 pounds of meat.
You didn't ask. You didn't ask the average person. You asked about me. So I mean, I
just don't want anybody to go and go, well, Chad eats 4,500 calories, so I need to do that. I mean,
no, guys,
most of them.
Here's the thing. Don't follow what I do, because the question was, what do I do? So I'm going to tell you what I do. What do you need to do? You need to do the exact amount that your body needs. Okay, I've been training for 33 years. Okay, I know exactly what my body needs. I know how many grams of protein, carbohydrates, and fat go in my body every single day. Okay, you know what? Some people, well, why don't you have a six-pack then? Well, you know what? I'm okay being a little heavier because it cushions my joints. I feel good. You know what? When I go to the doctor, my blood pressure's perfect, my cholesterol's perfect, my heart rate's good. All the factors there for my health are good. Okay, can I have a six-pack? Yeah, I can see my six-pack. And it's kind of covered up with a little bit of fat and quite a bit of hair. You know, that's what happens when you get a little older. But I'll tell you what, if I want to see a six-pack, I know how to get it. You know what? Honestly, to be honest with you guys, I don't want to cut the calories. Because if I want to have a bowl of ice cream, I'm going to have a bowl of ice cream. You know what? Because I'll lift some heavier stuff, burn a little bit more calories and make up for it. If I want to cheat on my diet, I know how to do that. You know, I keep my body fat about 12, 13% year-round. It's pretty easy. Once I start training more, okay, I can cut that off really quickly by training more. And honestly, I'd rather go push the prowler for another 10 laps, okay, than have to miss a meal, because I'd rather be full, because I know what it's like to be hungry, and I don't like being hungry.
And I think it was also important to note that in your answer of what you do, now again, you eat a lot more calories, and I hope that everybody notices that you didn't really mention bread. I didn't really hear pastas in there. I didn't really hear Diet Coke, or I didn't hear things like that.
You know what? I mean, water. I mean, I got one of these. You'll see me with one of these all day long. You know, I probably drink 1.5 gallons of water a day. You know, do I have a pop? Yes, I'll drink a pop occasionally. Love iced tea, okay? But I go unsweetened. You know, so I enjoy those type of things. You know, one thing that I feed my kids is called V8 Fusion. It's 6 ounces is 50 calories, and it's a fruit and a vegetable. You know why I drink it? You know what? Because I get more fruits and vegetables in, and it tastes good, but it's low in calories. Now, when I drink that, I might drink that in the morning. I might drink that post-workout. You know, the one I drink it in the morning is when I'm not going to have it with fat. So if you look at most of my meals, they're protein and fat, or they're protein and carbs. Okay, but I don't mix the two together because they don't mix well together. It would be called a splurgy meal if you're familiar with Easy Club Fit or the Leanest Lifestyle program. And Dave does a great job of explaining that. I think what a lot of people have to realize, what is your training goal? What do you have in mind? If I've got to train heavy 3 or 4 days a week, I can only train heavy as long as I'm recovered. And if I don't recover, then I can't train heavy. Okay, now, yeah, I'm 45 years old. I'm going on 46. How long can I continue this? Well, the great thing is, as you get older, you get a little wiser. Like, you know what, these last 6 weeks have been really crappy with the snow and the bad weather, and I never come out of this building, so I've been a little bit depressed. So today, you know, we've had some better weather the last couple of days. I feel a little bit better. Had a good workout this morning. Why did I have a good workout? Because I'm recovered, and I trained heavy. Can you train heavy every workout? You know what? When you're 25, you probably can. I remember those days. You never get sore. You feel awesome. You can get away with little infringements here and there. At my age, no. I got to come in and warm up. You know, I laughed because we all met at 6 this morning. Guess what? I got here at 5:30. I warmed up for a half an hour before everyone else got here to do the warm-up. So I had my pre-warm-up warm-up. You know what? I had the best workout I've had in a long time. Why? Because I did the things I needed to do. I came in, I foam rolled. You know, I did dynamic stretching. I did everything I needed to do, and I prepped, and I was ready. Okay, when it comes to food, talk about prep. You know what? On Sunday night, this last Sunday, I prepped all my meat for an entire week. All my meat for an entire week. So that's 5 days. I ate about 4 pounds of meat a day. That's 20 pounds of meat, baby. I was in the kitchen for about an hour and a half, and I had ground turkey, I had ground buffalo, I had ground beef, okay, I had turkey breast, and I made a ton of chicken, okay. I ate all that. That's all done this week. By the end of the day, it's all going to be finished. Okay, why? That's what I have to do. I plan to succeed, therefore I will succeed.
So guys, that gives you a little insight into Chad's diet. Be on the lookout here soon. Chad's going to go in more in depth on your diet and what your diet should look like. So until next time, thanks a lot.